fueron de 43. Ah, órale. Ah, bueno. Ah, pues.
Do the polka rap. Welcome to the GV podcast. And how dare you open up reminding me again of that polka rap thing.
You're welcome.
I love Weird Al. Don't know why that was in the credits of the second movie. But anyway, we're talking about the third movie. We're talking about the third movie. Pokemon the third movie, Spell of the Unknown Entei.
Which, good movie.
It's definitely there was a massive improvement.
Yeah. So let's run through the plot. Let's be quick about this.
Yeah.
So we first off meet Molly, this little girl who her mother, as we find out, not in the movie, has been hospitalized. And as for her, she is alone with her father, who is a researcher who constantly goes out into the field, and they are reading a bedtime story. And there's this whole thing where she says that her father is just like Entei.
Just like Entei, huh?
Oh yeah, and then the fact that the main voice actor for the dad is the guy who played Yugi from the original Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Yummy, yeah.
It's funny just how the dubs... It's probably the same dub studio for Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon.
The unknown pop in, take her father away. And... Oh shit, you killed yourself. Anyway, father's gone. The research buddy brings the box to her house, and she plays with it, being all sad about the fact that her dad's gone too.
These things look like letters. I'm gonna play Scrabble.
Yeah, she basically plays Scrabble of like Papa, Mama, me. Yep. And manages to just summon the unknown that end up conjuring forth an Entei that is her father.
Yeah, so, yeah.
This is all the opening.
Yeah, that's all the opening, and the unknown create the Entei, so a lot of people forget that Entei is not the real Entei.
Yeah.
And then they
there
call
are no legendary Pokemon.
Yeah, they call the unknown legendary Pokemon, but they're not. They're not actually legendary, so the fake Entei is the only actual legendary that's in it, but it's not the actual Entei.
So, immediate fun fact for you, Mayhem. Want to know who the original actor is? They wanted to voice the dad.
And Entei?
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery?
Right?
Oh my god. Last time they wanted to voice Lugia, Ian McKellen, or Patrick Stewart. Now they want Sean Connery?
No, they wanted the main villain to be voiced
by the main
him.
villain.
They wanted Lawrence III to be played by Patrick Stewart. And now they want the dad to be voiced by none other than Sean Connery. Rest in peace. Oh god, that still hurts. Anyway.
That would have been a very different performance.
Yeah. After this, we get a whole moment where the crystal, this crystal that was beneath our feet begins expanding in this beautiful art style.
Again, another massive improvement.
Like, we'll get to it, but there's a scene later on where she loses her shit after she's told that Ash's mom isn't her mom. And the art style just goes off on drawing her tears flying off.
Tears, the shadow detail, it's all just amazing.
Honestly, the art style changed for a moment.
Yeah, it did. But only for that moment.
But anyway, we jump past that. Basically, people running away from the city, and then we get the main group. Brock is back.
Brock returns finally.
Yep. And then this girl comes forward, this trainer girl.
And then they open up with the battle.
They open up with a gorgeous battle.
Yeah, it was very fluid.
Very fluid animation. I was surprised how fluid it was. I knew that it was going to be a different battle. It was when she, she pulled out the Pokeball, was about to throw it. It was more the way she was moving her face and everything.
Oh, that attention.
It's the way that humans actually move. When they're talking to somebody, they're moving a lot. Like me, for example, I have my hands moving around all the time when I'm talking. That's just the way I talk.
Yeah.
She's doing stuff like that where she's like moving her hands around, she's moving her face around, and then she throws the Pokeball, and each Pokemon that pops out is so expressive.
Specifically the first fight with Ash pulling out his Totodile and her pulling out Granbull. That was very striking in its fluidity.
That whole fight was probably one big animation that they wanted you to sit down and be like, listen, we're going to put effort into this.
Yeah, and it really pops out, because I'm not as animatedly focused as you are, Duke.
Yeah.
But like like their fight really like caught my attention. It was like, oh man, no, this is actually all incredible. And like you noticed it with the trainer pulling it out, pulling out the Pokeball.
When you can get a battle that is so well animated that somebody who doesn't recognize animation recognizes it. No, I mean this, like, in general. Of like, there are plenty of people I've seen where it's like they don't give a flying crap about animation.
Yeah.
But then something pops up and they're like, holy crap.
But like, just how do those people get on with their lives? How?
It's called being a functioning adult.
Nah.
Unfortunate.
Nah.
Anyway, next up, they end up moving on to the city that Molly lives in, which we also do get to see the fact that Molly, her family knew Ash and the crew.
Yeah, like they took a picture like a few years back with them.
Specifically Ash, his mom, and Professor Oak.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was definitely interesting. And we even got to see Delia when she was younger in the photograph. But anyway, she sees that, decides to head over to the city where Ash is. Ash and the gang meet up, but which the world feels very lived in.
Yeah, like the news team, the Pokemon Center felt a lot more like a hotel sort of place.
Yeah, they meet with the mom. Mom goes, Pikachu, I missed you so much. Oh, hey, Ash.
Yeah, she's just like, oh, hey, to her own child.
But then she gets kidnapped by Entei because apparently Molly wants a mama. Then we get a scene where Ash chases after Entei, fails to catch up to Entei, and then Molly makes me cry.
Oh, yeah.
Of just that scene of her crying on Delia's lap as she's sitting there. That was heartbreaking.
Yeah, and I kind of like the slow, like Ash's mom Delia. She slowly loses her mind control.
Yeah,
and like it's just more of like, I think it started at the shock that like Entei's your father. What? But like I kind of like that there's no break in it, because like no break of the mind control, because it's just more of like she like gets more and more of like just the motherly side of her.
Yeah, mother's intuition.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
Then we get the group come back together. They form out a plan of attack, and Ash, Brock, and Misty head on over and start making their way through the Crystal Palace.
And they also like made a small little remark about the water. How the water doesn't get taken over.
Yeah.
So that's how they figure out how they can get in.
And that was very cool.
It was
but
another like foreshadowing connection sort of thing that I really like.
Exactly. They make their way through, and Molly manages
because of the news team. She sees like people trying to break in.
She sees Pokemon, and because of that, she wants to be a trainer. And because of that, they head on in, and Molly meets them, but in an adult version of Molly,
like older than Team Rocket, older than 16.
She comes in, challenges Brock to a battle. They battle. Team Rocket and the main team manage to head on back up the stairs.
And the next place that they end up is at the beach, but it's mirrored after that one page in the book.
They run off. Brock fights her, and of course, it's a child with basically what she imagines is a Pokemon battle. So she wipes them out with like a Teddiursa using, what was it?
Dynamic Punch.
Dynamic Punch. Or then there was Rollout with Fanfy, where it just knocked out Onyx.
The shot of Fanfy hitting Onyx, like Fanfy's so like it gets smaller and smaller when it's approaching Onyx, and as soon as it hits Onyx, Onyx goes flying, and it's hilarious. Oh my god! He's like, oh fuck!
Yep. But then we go to the next battle, which is with Misty. It starts off with like, wait, you can be a gym leader when you're young?
Well,
she makes herself a little to be a little younger.
Yeah, she makes herself, I think, at their age now.
Yeah, and then just raises the water when Ash is running away.
And then turns out they could breathe underwater.
And it's like, it's a dream world.
And then when we were watching it, we imagined, because water surrounding them, Entei's a fire type. So we imagine like Entei, when the water happens, she turns to go and look at him, and Entei's just like T-posing dead.
Just floating.
Just
we go on, we have that massive battle with all the water-type Pokemon, which is actually pretty cool looking as well.
Another really good fight, yes.
Then it goes off, and Ash meets Molly. And it's this whole scene, a heartbreaking scene of her being told, like, I'm not your mom.
Oh, yes.
You need to let us go. We need to leave. And she just breaks down in this, like, honestly beautiful animation.
Like, the amount of detail that was put into this crying child is a little upsetting.
I was going to say, it's a little... You could kind of imagine the guy behind the scenes just like, okay, sir, I went ahead and... Like you asked, I've animated the girl crying. Put more detail into the tears.
More detail.
Excuse me?
What did you just say?
Yeah, what did you just say to me?
Put more detail in this child crying.
I want the audience to feel her tears.
Yeah, and it happened. That definitely happened.
Your new job is to go to the theater and throw a water bottle at somebody.
It's like, what? Dump water on them.
Make them feel the tears.
They won't know what is water and what is tears.
No, seriously, though, it was a beautiful animation.
It was, and
but
oh my god.
Then we get this whole moment of Entei coming in, trying to protect her, trying to grab the mom, and he ends up throwing Ash out a window.
Oh yeah, like he blasts a hole through it and then
which
hits him out.
Then introduces us to the most guarded secret for Pokemon at that time.
At that time.
Was the fact that Charizard returns to the Pokemon franchise with this movie.
Yeah, cause he was at he was like left at Charizard Valley.
Yeah, he was left at Charizard Valley, and then he came back here, and he catches Ash, saves him. Of course, a moment later, he then gets thrown out a window again, and is then saved by the crew alongside Team Rocket.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, Team Rocket, why did you save me? Screen time.
Yeah, that's what Meowth literally says. Without you, Ash, we won't have any showtime.
We get past that, then this amazing fight with Entei versus Charizard.
Oh, yes.
Of, like, Entei parkouring over all these different spikes he's creating. It's so badass looking.
Yeah, the fights were really good.
We finally get near the end of that fight, and Entei is getting ready to do the killing blow.
Oh, yeah, he has his foot on Charizard's
right on
neck,
his neck,
and he's about to, like, fire blast him.
Also, that see-through effect with the attack looked really cool.
Oh, yeah, like, the fire's
like,
not...
You can see him, like, the hair blowing past his face and everything. That was cool.
He's charging up, yeah.
Molly stops him, and it says, like, I want everything to go back to normal. I want it to be real now.
If that's what you wish.
So be it.
And so the Unknown's power, like, they get too much.
It gets too much.
And it starts going all over the place.
Nearly explodes.
And Entei has to sacrifice itself in order to stop it. And when talking to Molly, it's just, Entei goes, you have to believe in me.
Unbelievable! No,
you killed us all! You don't believe in me! That this one, the power of belief actually makes sense. That since it's her dream world.
Yeah, it's literally, the power of belief will save them. But it's also when in that moment where Entei is literally dying. That honestly, it gave me instant flashbacks to Lucario.
Oh, yeah.
Which I can't wait to get to that in the future, where it's just that scene of Lucario trying to save everybody, and Ash, he just pushes Ash out of the way.
Oh.
It is reminding me of that.
Yeah. Oh, and then Entei goes, I must go. And instantly, both of us at the same time go,
My
people need me.
I mean, that's the only way you can go from now on.
Yeah, it's the only thing you can say after that.
I mean, where is that? What is that line even from?
I think it's like Superman or something.
Probably. Anyway, the Unknown went apeshit. They no longer went apeshit because
got fucking
Entei dealt with them. And then you watch as they all soar away back to where they belong. The dad pops out, which apparently that scene was supposed to be a post-credit scene.
Yeah, that was supposed to be in the end credit scene, and turns out Pokemon movies or Japan itself did post-credit scenes way before we did.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And then, of course, Team Rocket zooming away.
Yeah, fading out.
Fading out again.
Team Rocket fading out again.
But that's the basic plot of this movie.
Yeah.
And, God, this is actually a very good... there are not a lot of faults I can see with this movie.
I don't really see a lot of faults. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really think of any. Okay.
I think
because of that, I'm gonna say start at anything bad.
That's what I'm trying to think of.
CGI unknown. There you go.
There we go. Yeah.
That is the only bad thing I saw in the entire movie.
That the unknown of obviously being named unknown. Like they're very
the CGI unknown was a little off,
but still
looked off.
But like them in the story, I'm talking about, like they themselves in the story.
I would say that's just a general thing I've disliked about Pokemon for a long time. Of the fact that unknown are always treated like legendary Pokemon, but in the game
they're the worthless.
No one gives a flying fuck about them.
And but it's also just like the fact that they're like the fabric of reality. Like they're this massive thing.
It's something so important, and yet they're not important.
Yeah, and since they're not important in the games, and the movies want to build them up, they can't give them an explanation. They can't.
Seriously, you gotta find a game to put them in that they'll be important.
Well, there was that whole thing with the Arceus myth, the like events thing that got cut because it was too complicated. But when people unlocked it, the unknown were a part of it.
Okay. But
that was like that's why it's the general consensus with the unknown is that they are extensions of Arceus.
Anyway, good parts of the movie.
A whole lot.
Yugi Entei was pretty cool.
Yugi Entei.
The fact that we got to see this very expansive world of like this is the most we've seen of the Pokemon world in one movie.
Yeah. Like
we've seen the Pokemon world plenty of times all throughout all these other movies, but this was one where it said,
this is one of the first
We're going to show you Pallet Town. We're going to show you this town, Green Valley or something like that. Or we're going to show you Charizard Valley. We're going to show you this, that. And just so much of the world was expanded upon. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. It kind of happened in 2000 with like all the Pokemon being affected in Pallet Town by the whole thing happening. But it just wasn't the same because the fact that the Pokemon are so far away that they couldn't have any impact whatsoever.
Biggest bonus of the movie, honestly, the art.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Art was gorgeous.
There's a couple scenes where they're running in between the floors, and it's
full painted.
Yeah, it's like a full-on like mosaic painting. That's beautiful.
Yeah, no, honestly, that is the best part of this movie, the art. If you want to watch a good movie, just watch this for the art alone.
Yeah, absolutely. This one has reasons for having nostalgia. Yeah. Because it's good.
That was the weird thing for me. Honestly, it was the whole thing of like the first movie had a lot of nostalgia. The second movie had a lot of nostalgia. This was a movie that I didn't have a lot of nostalgia with.
This one was just good.
I just generally knew that it was good.
Yeah, I think I remember.
But I didn't come back and rewatch it often.
Yeah,
it was weird.
I think I just remember the Charizard and Entei fight the most, probably because it was just a really good fight.
It's Entei versus Charizard. That's awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, like that entire thing, the fact that it's not the one that people usually go back to watch.
Yeah, it's very weird. But
that's probably why, like, the rest of them, it is, like, massive legendaries that are involved from then on. Like, I think the smallest one is Lucario. No, because Lucario has the Reggies. I just love how Team Rocket just becomes the comedic relief in the movies. Yeah. Like, they're not really the bad guys.
Now, I'll tell you this, Mayhem. Apparently there was an early draft of the story.
Oh, no.
Do you want to guess what you think would be the alternate version of the story?
I don't know.
An early draft of the story was going to revolve around a T-Rex fossil that would come to life and would be stopped by Ash and company.
What?
Yeah.
So a tantrum before there was ever a tantrum?
It would be brought to life, would go on a rampage through Kanto, and yeah.
That's what happens in Pokemon 4 with the giant mecha Tyranitar.
Yeah, this draft was rejected by the producers as being too risky.
Too risky? Well, yeah, because there's no actual T-Rex Pokemon at that time.
At that time, yeah. But yeah, it's kind of interesting, right?
Yeah.
It's weird. That'd have been really weird.
It's weird how early Pokemon movies could have gone in so many different directions.
Yeah, and once again, the coolest thing about this movie as well, spoiler-wise, is just the fact that with Ash's Charizard making an appearance, it was kept so secret, even the English producers were shocked to see it appear.
They didn't know till the last second, yeah.
When they first saw the film, that was when they realized, and they were like, wait, he's back?
Yeah.
Like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
But, okay, so we have to rate this movie. I'm going to tell you, I think it might be number 1. So far.
Yeah, I think this one beats Mewtwo.
It actually really beat Mewtwo just because, like, this one is a generally good movie.
It is. It absolutely is.
It's heartbreaking to watch.
It is, and it's a good story, good storytelling. You care about all the characters are useful. There's no useless characters.
Yeah, because in the previous movie, it's like every other character's useless.
Yeah, they're just there to be there.
Only Ash is important. Who cares?
That's it. No one else.
Even the most important character there is still useless.
The Slow King.
No, I mean...
Oh, and the girl with the flu. Yeah.
She's supposed to be important. She's useless.
But yeah, in this one, like, the beginning trainer that he fights is there for the rest of the story.
In Pokemon the first movie. That one, it was a good movie, but arguably it wasn't the best.
Especially being compared to Entei. This story is tightly... It's smaller.
Compare it to other animated movies around the time, it doesn't hold up.
Oh, yeah. 2000, yeah.
Yeah, but compare this one to other movies around the same time, and you're like, yeah, it could probably fight Disney. This one could. This one,
yeah.
It would have a fair fight. It maybe wouldn't win, but it would have a fair fight.
Yeah. It does have kind of the problem that, unlike Mewtwo, you kind of need to know a little bit more about Pokemon.
Yeah, this is...
This one, it's not all splayed out.
This is similar to, like, Dragon Ball Super Broly.
Yes.
Or, like, the Demon Slayer movie, where it's like, you need to be a fan of this show in order to get to and enjoy this movie.
Exactly.
But it's not as serious as, like, well, if you didn't see episode 32 of season 5, then, yeah.
Like, watching the Clone Wars movie without seeing any other bit of Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. Or watching episode 9.
Oh my God.
Before anything else.
Even then, you're like, what's happening?
Yeah, no, even if you have seen. Don't worry, we'll get into a rant about that in the future. Anyway, thank you for watching. This was a good movie.
Yes, very much. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We very much appreciate it.
Do the good mamma jamma.
Yeah, and we are Green Villains, and we are out of here.